In this video, I'll walk you through how to trade futures in the OKX app. If you want to get an exclusive sign-up bonus, you'll find the sign-up link down in the video description. Then you'll be taken straight to the sign-up page where you can create an account in about 30 seconds and automatically qualify for a bonus of up to several $1,000s. Once we are inside the OKX app, we can now go to the futures platform by simply going down here to trade. Then make sure to choose futures up here. And now a quick tip is you can actually go onto these three dots in here and then switch over to the demo trading mode. And then you'll be redirected to the demo trading feature. Everything looks exactly the same, but you will actually be granted $5,000 of demo funds by using the sign up link from the description. You will have that automatically in here, and now you can try out everything without having to use your real money for it. So I highly recommend you to check that out first to try out and get familiar with all the features on here. All right, next up, we can check out the platform. First of all, in the top left, you can choose your trading pair. So as you can see, we have multiple coins that we can trade on here. I'm gonna stick with Bitcoin for now in here. And right next to it, we have this button where we can have a quick view at the price chart. So I can simply look at the chart in here, choose the different time frames. And if I go back again, right below it, we have these two sections. On the right side, we have the order book. And on the left side, we have this control center where we can open our trades. So we can set our leverage in here, set the order type, choose a position size, add take profit or stop loss, and eventually go long or short. Right below it, we have this section right here where we will be able to see our opened positions as well as any orders and our history. Let's go back up again and open our first long trade. So to do that, we simply go in here, make sure to have that set on isolated the margin mode. And right next to it, we can set our leverage. In this case, I'm going to stick with a 5x for now. And then right below it here for the order type, I'm going to choose market to execute the orders immediately at the current market price. And then I can now set in here the position size. We have these two options in here, either in BTC, USDT or contracts. I personally prefer to set the amount in USDT because then this will be the entire position size valued in US dollars. So I can say, all right, I want to open a $5,000 position size. And this means down here under cost, I'm using $1,000 of my own money because these $1,000 times the 5x leverage will equal the entire position size of $5,000. So that's how these three right here play together. Next up, I can also add a take profit or stop loss if I want to do that, but just tapping this check mark in here. And now I could either just type in the prices directly or tap on advanced. And now I can set it in even more detail. So for my long trade in here, I want to set it in here by P&L as a percentage on my own capital, by profit or loss in US dollars, or by the price change. I personally like this P&L because then I can just simply say, I want my take profit to be at a price where I make, let's say, $400 of profit. All right, it's automatically calculated. That would mean at this price, around about $74,000. Same goes for my stop loss by P&L at a maximum loss of $150. And then this means at a price of $66,400. All right, let's hit confirm. We have that all set up in here. And now we can simply click on buy long and we are already in our position. Let's scroll down a bit so we can see our trade. First of all, we can see the orders in here. That's our take profit and stop loss in here. And if we go to positions in here, that's where we can see our opened trade. We can see it's a Bitcoin long trade with a 5x leverage. We can see our currently open profit or loss in dollars and as a percentage on our own capital. We can see the entire position size, the $5,000, and our margin, our own capital in this trade, the $1,000. We can see the price where we entered the trade, the current price, and the liquidation price. Liquidation price means if we don't have a stop loss, which we currently do, we can also see that down here. But let's assume we didn't have placed a stop loss and the price would crash down to $55,000. Then at this price right here, this entire trade would be so-called liquidated, which means effectively it would be closed by the platform and we would lose our entire margin in this trade right here. But of course, we can prevent that from happening by placing a stop loss beforehand, which we already did. You can also tap in here and view it in more detail. We can see our stop loss and take profit. This is the loss and the profit we would make at those prices. We can also modify them if you want to do that, or of course also cancel them and then at any time place new ones. That's also an option. You can get back there by just tapping on TPSL in here at any time. Next up, I also want to show you how you can increase and decrease your position size later on. So to increase your trade, simply go back up again and do as if you would open a new trade. So I'm simply going to get rid of that. And let's say I want to add another $2,000 onto the existing trade. then just tap on buy long in here, and then you'll see it will simply be added onto the existing trade. And I've increased my position size to now $7,000, and also my margin has gone up to $1,400. That's how you can increase your trade. If you want to decrease it the other way around, simply close parts of your trade by going down here to close, then choose market in here to do it immediately right now, and then simply type in here the US dollar value of how much you want to close, or choose a percentage of your entire trade of how much you want to close. Let's say I want to close 50%, half of it. Just tap down here on close, and then you'll see I've now reduced it to only half of what's left, to $3,500, and also my margin has been halved down to $700. Lastly, you can also, of course, at any time edit your leverage or margin manually. So the leverage that we set up here at the beginning is not set in stone forever. You can also edit that later on, but just tapping on this pen icon in here. And now we could increase or decrease our leverage later on. So of course, the higher of a leverage you use, the less margin will be required in the trade, and the higher of a position size you could actually achieve. So that's how you can also edit that easily later on. And of course, also your margin in here can be added or reduced just to your liking. So basically everything you've set up in your trade can also be edited later on in here. All right, finally, if you want to close your entire trade, simply tap close all down here, confirm, and then you're also out of your trade again. Don't forget to claim your sign-up bonus right now by creating an account with a link in the video description. And if you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comments.